Pat Sheahan will take questions from the floor. Fire away.
Pat Kennedy from the Windsor Standard, sir.
Recognize your stately profile.
One of the players just said that you didn't know until about an hour before the game about a few changes from the other side. Just tell us about the changes. First
Yeah, 99 Cossette, he could have been a good addition there. I mean, they had another big guy. I think he's about 6'3", about 280. I remember he gave us a handful last year. So anyway, he wasn't there. So I mean, 94 was the one guy that sort of needed some extra attention. You saw him getting some penetration a little bit. He's a terrific player. Apostle, he's pretty good. And actually, I thought their defense, their secondary, their secondary really bottled us up last year. And gave us a hard time. So the receivers took it as a real personal challenge this year to come out there and make a statement against the DBs. And I think we did a pretty good job of getting open today. So I haven't seen the stats, so I don't want to be sort of quoting any marvelous numbers, etc. But it looked like that we made a few plays in here.
What about the quarterback change for Windsor? How did you adjust your game?
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Malian kid's a good player. Kennedy's good. He's a slightly different skill set. He's on the move, sprints out, takes off. So he caused a few headaches today doing that. He's a good athlete.
Did you change the defensive format? Or
Well, I think to find that last, so now Pat just tried to, you practice against something all week, and then, you just had to be a little bit, more prepared, I guess, for would be the way to put it, for a sprint out, roll out, breakdowns. He's a kid who's quite effective when the whole thing breaks down. It might be at his best, when he's ad-libbing like
he showed that.
Yeah, he scrambled a few times.
That's it.
That's it.
It seemed like that was more in the first half. And was there any adjustments that you made in game to sort of shut down that scramble?
I thought that we pressured, quite a bit better in the second half. Now you can sink or swim on pressure, but we were productive. We got guys up in his face when he set up the throw. I think they got called for grounding a couple of times. Got flushed out. I think we got a couple of big play sacks there. Huge losses, which unfortunately they're not in a position right now to overcome on second and long, that kind of thing. So generally speaking, I thought that we handled the kid's rollout, his speed, not too bad under the circumstances.
Pat, can you talk about both your quarterbacks today? Because you used both of them, and both of them I thought had pretty good games.
Yeah, they were pretty good. Billy's coming along in the system. I mean, he's getting it. He showed great poise today. Those were his first snaps of the year, and he looked pretty relaxed and calm in there. He's got a strong arm and can cover the field. Justin played very well. I thought that he controlled the game pretty well. We got a little bit excited. I think the score could have been higher. I don't mean to be greedy here, but I thought that the score probably could have been higher. We left a few points on the table today. Now the conditions were not best for throwing the football. Even when you had the wind, it wasn't great because the ball carried a little bit. But we got a couple of really good catches. Our guys got open. Our guys got open consistently, and I think I don't want to sort of make any controversial statements early, but I think we got robbed of a couple of receptions there today. I'm not quite sure how it looked to the members of the press, but it looked like there were a couple of receptions there.
Somebody beside us doing an evaluation of referees.
Yeah. Hopefully they saw it.
Hopefully.
Not bad though. Not bad. It was just not bad. I wasn't overwhelmed by the game. I expected us to come out of the blocks hard. I thought that being the home opener and having dropped the first one, I thought we'd come out hard, and we did. Windsor they're not the club they were a couple of years ago. They don't have the big, the big breakaway back, and they've lost some veteran players on their defense, and they're not big and experienced like they have been on the offensive line the last few years. So, it was. I think the result was pretty much what I expected.
Where would you like to see your team play better? What facet?
Well, once again, I think that we're sort of what's good about the game is that, you know, you come out with the victory and, you know, we got some productive offense, we got some big play defense. We're sort of on the cusp of getting some big play special teams. I think we had a block today. I think we had a big return today for the fans and it got called back, but we're sort of just I think that the overall general improvement, more on task, a little bit more discipline. One thing I wasn't too happy about today is it looked like we took more than our, I think we're the least penalized team in the league right now, and it looked to me today that we took more penalties today than we have in the recent outings. So that's something we'll have to work on.
Is your return squad leaving something to be desired?
Well, in fairness, I think the obvious answer would be yes, but in all fairness, you know, you're comparing it to one of the most prolific return games, not just at Queens, but in college bowl history last year. Big play returns, one of the top guys. So, you know, it's the hunt for Jimmy A is still on. I mean, where do we get another guy like that? TJ Chase Donowa, he's a very capable kid. You know, a Pro A too is. You know, Johnny's role is expanding on the team. He's got great speed. The problem is you know, you can't overwhelm these guys with, you know, taking all they have to do for offense or defense and then be great on special teams. Something is going to be delayed. And I would say that our return game is still a work in progress.
You look like a team. Did your team look like a team that could beat Guelph today?
Well, I think we can certainly compete there. I mean, they will have had the week off. You know, when you're playing against a team that has a week off, there's always a chance there could be a few new wrinkles in there that you haven't seen. They've had more than enough time to polish up a couple of new schemes, you know, for us and leave us kind of, you know, adjusting on game day. Don't forget that although we've been touched by graduation, so has Guelph. I mean, Dunk was a big play performer for them. He was a big cog in their offense, and you'll recall that sometimes he was at his best when the whole thing broke down. Okay, he became an ad-libber. He'd run around, find somebody open. You can't cover guys for 7 or 8 seconds, and he'd run this way, run that way, and then find somebody standing wide open upfield, and also would take off himself. You know, a guy like Dunk makes everybody around him better. He adds to the running game because he can tuck it and bootleg and go, and you got to play that. Young Rossetti is a good young quarterback. I mean, I remember him at St. Michael's College. We got a number of guys here who were teammates. He was a very good high school quarterback. You know, I don't think he's at Dunk's level just yet. So, but they got the Fitzgibbon kid, who's a good kid. They got the brother, Adam Dunk, one of the top linebackers in the league. So you know, I don't know what to say. I mean, last year when we opened up against Guelph, you know, at one point it looked like it was going to be a blowout, and then it ends up being a heroic 37-yard field goal in the last play of the game. So we've had some wide open affairs against Guelph. So we've got to be ready for anything when we get down there this year.
Just one quick word about that block today. I think it was. He labeled somebody. Anyways, something like that.
Big hit down there. Yeah.
Okay. What did that do for you?
Well, you know, it was a good thing because, and not that it wasn't aimed at any particular individual. It was a good physical football play. First of all, it was great for him because he's a young player who's trying to sort of find himself, his identity on the offense. He's out there because he's got great speed and athleticism. And here, that was a football play. I mean, he peeled back and laid somebody out. That's you know, that was big time football play.
What's it do to a team for that team?
Well, when you got a big hit, that jacked everybody up.
Both ways, actually. What's it do to the other team?
Well, you know, it can be very deflating too when that happens. It was good to see that. That was kind of all part of Johnny's awakening. He's you know, he's becoming something, you know, and it was good. And the other thing too, we challenged the receivers to be more physical with those guys. Last year, I thought their DBs were more physical, you know, on us than our receivers were on them. This year, I thought it was reversed. You know, I thought that we actually blocked downfield pretty good. I thought we got open, and really created some separation too. You know, I thought we were open, you know, considerably in the game.
Pat, do do you really need the receivers to be exceptional every week, given the fact that you have a first and a second-year quarterback? I mean,
Well, we got some great leadership there. We got 3 fifth-year guys, and they kind of anchor, the production on the offense. And I thought those 3 guys played well today. And I thought that we were able to feed off them. I thought that Jimmy T got going pretty good. We did a pretty good job there. We're still, a work in progress. We're not in mid-season form or anything. I don't know what the rush yards were. Do you have them? I suspect I'm going to be disappointed there. They're already preparing for that. Okay, let me just see what it was. All right, so we ended up, our net was 142. The challenge this week was to go in there and get 150. 152 with 10 yards and losses. That was pretty good.
10.74 of those.
Yeah, which we expect him. He's the type of quarterback, as you can see, who's going to add something to the running game in a number of ways. You can see now we ran a couple of quality boots there. And, when you have to keep a defender on the backside to defend the boot, that helps the front side of the play. I thought we took advantage of that. Some of our passes were there too. So that was good. That was good.
Any final questions for Pat?
I have to ask, I see Ozzy around campus, and now we see him on the sideline, and any chance we're going to see
You'll see him in law school as of tomorrow.
Any chance we're going to see him in a uniform?
Not likely. Not likely. Not this year anyway. But we'll be quick to remind him, because he's already been reminded that he does have more eligibility. So, fortunately, law is a 3-year program. Who knows?
You don't expect him this year?
I'm not expecting him this year, unless there is some dramatic changes.
And Morris wasn't playing today.
Yeah, we're hoping to get Morris. Morris had a knee done during the year last year, and I think it was February. So he's, we got about 2.5 quarters out of him last week, but he's not in in top shape yet either. He needs to sort of play himself back into shape. And as soon as we get him back, you're getting another guy who's 6'4", he's 330. I mean, you're talking about another beast in there, and that sort of gives you a little bit more heft in the interior. So we're going to be a better football team at some point in the year when we get Morris back, and some of the other kids too. It was good to see McDonald back out there. Ben Dandria came back this week. We got Matt Kendrick now. It looks like he's on the crest of it to get back in. Boris Isakov, who played very well at McMaster, he's just had a little bit of a tweak, nothing serious, but he's likely going to be a candidate for next week also. So all good. We can bring in a few guys there. Let's get through the next couple of weeks and not to have too much carnage. We should be all right.
Okay,
Good.
thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.